Alrighty then. Hold on. Let me go ahead and make sure everything is okay because I'm trying to be responsible actual person here. So give me a second. Alright. It sounds good. Everything sounds pretty good and pretty well. Let me find my headphones. And here we go. Alright, cool. Alright, welcome to another stream. I know I haven't streamed for a while. Honestly, I've been taking a bit of a little break for myself. Partly because I needed to work on stuff, and then I meant to work on stuff, and then I wouldn't work on stuff because I was like, I realized I am getting burnt out. I usually do during the holidays just because I usually always work overtime, and I try to do that with content. Regardless or not, I am, hopefully, this is going to be the start of me coming back onto streaming again. I still need some videos I have to make. I have the scripts for those, but you're not here to talk about that. This is the second channel, so you guys are on Twitch. So you guys are obviously here to watch me and hear me talk about this manga. This new manga. No, not new manga, but the new manga that we have for this week, which is Ghost Reaper Girl, which is it's very interesting how I got to this. So I feel like it's important for the context. Also, by the way, I also usually do this all the time. When I do this with mangas, I should do it more. I will be going into spoiler territory. I will be talking about the plot points for this manga, and I will be going into this manga talking about the in-depth stuff. If you do not want to know about the in-depth stuff, and if you don't want to hear about the in-depth stuff, please hop off if you do not mind to. I don't mind it. It's okay, because there's a lot to talk about here, and I will be going through the majority of the plot points and other stuff when it comes to Ghost Reaper Girl, and I usually do with any of this manga. Now, with that being said, this manga has been very interesting. So, I got recommended this manga around like the middle of 2024, from like a friend of mine. And this friend of mine, we were living with each other. This was around the time Juju was still coming out with his last chapters. Like Chainsaw Man was really ramping up in the part 2 of itself. Dananron just dropped. So there was a lot of heat that was coming out. Me and my buddy were talking. And one thing he recommended was Ghost Reaper Girl. He read it. He didn't read a bunch of chapters. I think he read the first like 2 or 3. And he's like, hey, I've been fucking with it so far. I've been enjoying it. This might actually be something you enjoy because it's kind of quirky and it's cool. It's kind of weird, but you like the quirky, you like the cool, you like the weird. And he's not wrong. Obviously, I'm a huge fan when it comes to the super weird and super quirky. So I like stuff like Kill la Kill. I like stuff like fucking Dananron. I like stuff like Bobobo. I like the quirky and the weird shit. I like Prison School, all that shit. So that shit, right up my alley, 100%. And so, a big thing that I wanted to, I kind of put this off just because it's it's kind of in the back of my mind. Also, at the time, I was watching stuff I think I was in the middle of reading Berserk and Blue Lock, and I was reading One More Thing, and I think I was in the middle of reading the Bleach, Hell one-shot, and I was also watching a bunch of things. I was watching fucking, what else was I watching? I know I was watching no. What was I watching? What was I watching at the time? If it was the middle of 2024, it must have been the summertime. I know I usually watch a bunch of shit. So, I'm watching a bunch of shit, I'm doing a bunch of shit, and so I put this off to the side. Finally, as I have this podcast, and as I'm doing this podcast, I kind of sat there and I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm doing this podcast. I'm talking about mangas. I'm talking about different mangas. It might actually be good to go ahead and talk about Ghost Reaper Girl finally. Actually give my chance to sit down and actually give this a chance. And so I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead. And so initially when he showed it to me, I thought it was finished. I thought it was just that short. You know, it put out a couple of volumes. The story's not super long. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to be able to read this manga that's like, I wouldn't say that it's finished, but it definitely has like it's like almost done, sort of, in a sense, type of thing. So that's what I thought I was getting into with this manga. No. So here's the thing. The reason why I thought that, mainly, was because how Shonen Jump does a lot of their mangas when they do stuff. So, if a manga is still, like, ongoing, what they'll do is they'll have the manga set. Like, you'll open the manga page, like the page that you want to go into the story that you're reading, and the manga will be set from the most recent chapter that came out. The first chapter will be, you have to scroll, like, to the very, very bottom, because it's kind of like it's scrolling from the bottom upward, which is like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Sure, yeah, whatever. And then mangas that are usually finished, or mangas that are usually done, or in a sense, those mangas usually are reversed. So if a manga's finished, a manga will start at the very first chapter on the top, and then it will scroll on the bottom. Ghost Reaper Girl is like that. Ghost Reaper Girl starts at the very, very top, and it goes from like all the way down. So when I read it, I was like, oh, this is finished, this is cool. And spoilers, I'm reading this manga, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm fucking with this manga. I like it, I like what it's doing, I like all the cool things, it's awesome. I was like, there's some things that we'll go into, that I'll definitely sit there to be like, I don't know yet, but hey, sure. Nunez, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it very much. I don't know if that's the reason, but if you are here, Nunez, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it over on TikTok. So I'm reading this, and I'm like, okay, so this manga is kind of a banger. It's doing a lot of pretty good things. What exactly? I'm surprised there's no like fan service, or there's no actual like attention to it. Like, no one's really talking about this manga, but this manga is kind of like, it might be complete, might have been completed for a year, but I'm surprised I have not heard about this manga at all whatsoever, because I'm like, you know what, this like caters to a particular audience that I think would go so hard for this type of stuff. So I actually look up, I'm like, okay, so I assume if it got like a couple of volumes, there's probably enough of a fan base for it to have like a Reddit and all that stuff. And it does. I actually come to find out that the Ghost Reaper Girl manga is currently on hiatus. And it's been on hiatus for a very long time. I think it's been on hiatus since like last year. And like, we have like no real so at least from what I've seen, we have no real update when it comes to the actual author's help. We have no real update when it comes to what's happening with like all that stuff. So I sat there, it's just like, oh shit. Oh no, this is a manga where it's like, it is unfinished. By the time I like figured that out, I was kind of halfway through and I was fucking with it. And I was like, well, I can't really turn back now, can I? So this is going to be interesting as the conversation of, do I think it's good enough to come back to once the praying, right? Because again, no matter my opinion on what the manga is, we hate to see mangas get ill. We hate to see artists get sick. Like, it's not good. We understand how like strenuous both the manga and anime, the anime-manga industry itself can be with rigorous work schedules and constant pushing of the authors and the workers and the illustrators. It's harsh. So no matter what I do, no matter what I say here, I wish the author the best. I wish the author nothing but good wealth and good health. And I do hope they at least come back to be able to be healthy enough to continue this manga. Because I think there's something here that I really fuck with a lot. There's something here that I really fuck with a lot. And I hope they do. I hope they do come back. I have my gripes. I have somewhat of my gripes with this manga, which we'll go into. But I do hope that they come back because oh my god, I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ. Oh, apologies. That was some weird fucking gachi shit that I had. But I do hope that they come back to their manga, and I hope that they're able to continue it within good health. That's like always what we want, right? That's the positive that we want for this stuff any and all the time. So it's going to be very interesting going into this manga and just talking about it from that perspective of like, okay, well, the manga isn't actually around right now, so what exactly are we going to do? What exactly is there, right? To wait for, because like it stops at a pretty interesting point too. I like a really point where I'm like, oh, what a bad place to stop. Because I thought it stopped at a place where I'm like, you know what, I could wait. I can wait to see what happens. But no, it actually stops at a really important part where it's just like, damn, that's ass. So let's get on with it, right? Also, I do apologize if this ends up becoming once again another one of those shorter streams. I do have places to be today, and I pressed on time. I didn't know if I even wanted to do this, but I try to be consistent as much as I can, so I push forward as best as I can. So, all that being said, let's go in after we did that all pre-ramble for this manga. Let's go ahead with like my whole reading experience with the said manga. So, Ghost Reaper Girl starts off with our main character, Chloe Love, who is an actress in Japan. I don't know where in Japan. I don't even know if they remember. I don't know if they remember it, but obviously it's in Japan. Where like she's kind of like that lowbrow class actor, where it's like she'll be either a dead body in CSI Miami or some type of horror movie, where it's like it's not even like a active one. It was just like, oh, we found like the villain's body stash, and she'll just be one of the bodies. Or she'll be like a very low bow. The best way I can explain it is that she's basically a Tubi actor, and that's such a weird way of framing it. But yes, she would basically be a Tubi actor, which I think is a very funny description. But also at the very beginning, we see as well that the seal for Hades has been broken. All the ghosts are going out, and another character, Kai, sitting there being like, ah, shit, well, I guess I gotta go hunt down all these goddamn ghosts. No, don't I? So, once that happens, and we see that at that very, very beginning, we cut back to Chloe Love. She's trying to go in for an interview, but the ghost is taking over, like, the president who's trying to do for the agency, and that's, like, a whole thing as she tries to escape. She kicks the shit out of him, and it's just like, woof, god damn. And as she's getting, like, tracked, this is where she meets Kai. Now, Kai's introduction is very interesting. Because, I'm not gonna lie, first off, he kind of pushed me off. He kind of put me off a little bit. Because he is like the atypical pervy character of like an anime manga story. So like think of Sanji from One Piece, or Mr. Roshi from Dragon Ball, or Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins. Like think of that archetype of character. That's Kai. And I fucking despise those type of archetypes, because those type of archetypes piss me the fuck off. I absolutely fucking hate those archetypes so goddamn much. They do not make me happy. They do not make me pleasant. And I'm just sitting there just like, oh my fucking god. And keep in mind, I do think they could be done right. I do think those archetypes could be done right. It's just everyone always goes with the most extreme with them. And I'm just like, oh my god. Oh my god, this fucking story, man. Like, this fucking character is simping so hard for a character that goes to such insane length. It is actually baffling how hard they go for this character. And it's just like, okay, alright, okay. And it makes it even worse that he, like, the first words that comes out of his mouth is, oh, I need to protect the lolicon like you. And it's like, okay, dude. Or I need to be a Lolita like you, and it's like, oh, okay, bro. Sure, I get it, but what, I mean, I don't. But what the fuck? And then, and I will say, the first 2 chapters, as he's saying that, bro, they hammer. I have never seen a manga hammer this more than this manga, that Chloe is 28 years old. That's one of the very rare times we have gotten a, like, direct age for a character, which is good, because Kai does mistake her for a Lolita, and you don't want, you know, the ambiguous age, so it's just like, oh, she acts like she's older, but is she maybe like, no, she is 28. 28, flat out, she is almost 30, she is a very grown adult. So, like, the sipping afterwards is like, okay, fine. Like well, we're all sipping over a very, very legal girl, fine, whatever. It's just insane that the first introduction does come from him assuming that it was it was a, like, a Lolita at the first place. And I'm just kind of sitting there, I'm just like, I don't know what this means. If my buddy thought that I would like this manga. You get what I mean? Like, I sat there, I'm like, bro, you thought I'd like this manga. I have questions for what you think about my fucking principles. But Kai obviously seems super strong as fuck, dispatches all of the ghosts and basically tells her, hey, yeah, I like, you know, you're fine, I protected you, yada, yada, yada. They go their separate ways. Like, Chloe, like, I think she, like, runs away or something like that. Yeah, she runs away because she's like, oh, I got away from that crazy man. And so, all for the president to follow her, with another ghost inside of him being like, I found you. I also have my ghost friends who also been producing people. Kai eventually follows her back on the train, and they have a whole other fight sequence. And at that point, like, they're trying to fight off the ghost, and Kai's like, listen. Oh, like, there's a moment where, like, Kai's like, you need to get away. I'll make sure to try to handle it as best as I can. And she's just like, God damn it. I'm useless as an actress. I'm useless as a person. I'm useless for even trying to save the person who tried to help me. And so she gets a little bravery and actually comes back, starts whooping ass. And she's just like, listen, I get it. I don't want to leave you alone. If you need to possess me in order to be strong, let's fucking do it then. And so this starts a whole magical girl transformation where she starts, she becomes a scythe user, and I'm not gonna lie, scythe users in anime are my weakness. I mean, they're fucking, like, they're just the coolest fucking things, dude. I don't know what it is about a scythe, which, look, if we're gonna say practicality-wise, yeah, practicality-wise, they're not great. Practicality-wise, they're not great. Practicality-wise, they are very, very much not the type of fucking thing that you want to use, because you can't really use a scythe. But, bro, there's something about scythe users that is just so aesthetically pleasing and so cool. Because, like, you have fucking, what do you have? You have fucking Maka. I think Maka, yeah, I think you have Maka from Soul Eater. You got Ruby from Ruby. You got fucking Chloe Love from Ghost Reaper Girl. Like, there's a bunch of them, and they're cool, and they're really, like, fucking, like, awesome. So, like, obviously the choice of aesthetic is very, very cool. I also want to point out, because I see it a lot, this manga, I feel like it has popularity, but it doesn't have, like, a super amount of popularity. This is a manga to me that I think would have done very, very well in the 2000s. I actually brought this up recently about an anime that I watched recently when it comes to, what was it called? I think it was like The Witch and the Beast. And it was an anime that if that anime / manga released in like the mid 2000s, oh, it would have been like the talk of the town, because you look at like the aesthetic of everybody and the way that they're drawn and the topics they're talking about, the like mythos of Eldritch horror that they deal with throughout the manga and spirits. And keep in mind, we still have that a lot, because like Jujutsu Kaisen still deals with spirits and demons, Demon Slayer still deals with demons, but it's on a different feel for it, whereas like the 2000s had like a very cheesy, over-the-top type of vibe. And I feel like Ghost Reaper Girl captures that very well. Like, I sat there, I'm like, damn, you put this right next to, like, Black Butler, I feel like the Black Butler girlies would absolutely eat the fuck out of this manga. Like, they would look at this and they would be like, same aesthetic, I fucking like, it's fucking good, fucking yeah. Which, I don't blame them, because this does actually look pretty fucking good for the most part. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of fuck with the way it looks and shit. Because, like, it does actually, like, look pretty fucking good. Which, I'm also not super privy or akin to that type of story. I usually am not the one to gravitate towards that story, but, like, I do somewhere, like, I feel like Ghost Reaper Girl has found a really nice balance when it comes to that. And it's really pleasant. It's really, really pleasant to look at. But, going on about all that, we see that, so that's like the whole first chapter. The whole second chapter introduces Noelle, who is what they call whatchamacallit. What do you call it again? What do we call it again? What do they call it? It was like a soul devourer, something devourer. Noelle is a devourer of a sense of like, they eat souls and eat people, but they get so hungry because they can't satisfy themselves to the point of like damn near starvation and shit. And so it's just like, I see. So we kind of have to not build out, but it's like, okay, I see. This is something that we need to kind of constantly keep up with and constantly do. Or constantly handle, in a sense. Is that the right word? Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. But they basically need, the best way I could describe it is that they basically need to handle it for the most part. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What am I actually trying to say? I'm confusing myself to the nth fucking degree. Oh, no. They get so hungry that they end up eating themselves and then themselves get corrupted. My bad, I had a massive brain fart there. But Chloe also one of Chloe's big backstories is the fact that she grew up in the slums, so she is definitely somebody who is like, I understand the struggle, I understand the starvation. So she goes to want to like help Noelle. Noelle starts turning into a bad demon. But Chloe, using her blood through technique skill that she gets from using Kai, ends up saving Noelle. And it's like, oh, like I'm actually like pretty close to satisfied now. And they all three start living together with Kai and Noelle being like familiars for her. And like these first 2 pages of introductions, which I would assume would have been like 3 episodes, is really good. I have my gripes with how they end, with how Kai enters, and like Chloe can be kind of much too, but I will also admit I do very much end up growing to loving them a lot, because I think they are very cool people in that instance of like, oh no, like I get what their like whole groove is. So like I get it. Like I get what you all are about. And so they're like, okay, we need to go make money, because it's like, well, I still need to make money. I want to fight, but I also gotta, basically live and be a person. And so, what is it? Kai goes, oh, well, if you're gonna help me exterminate spirits and we're gonna bring you to stardom, which that is also a big point. Oh, my bad. I was gonna say, my bad. I thought new names. Oh, maybe no, maybe it's there. Maybe it's multiple places. Also, that's my bad. I originally thought that this was. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot what I was gonna say. But Kai was like, okay, yeah. Oh no, because originally Kai is like super obsessed with Chloe because he's watched all of her movies. Kai's like, oh no, which I should have brought up. Like he thought she was a Lolita at first, and then he looks back and he's like, oh no, you're Chloe Love. You're that girl who's like did that movie Ghost Reaper Girl, and you were like the dead body in this. Like you're actually an amazing actor. Like you have an extreme amount of talent. And so the reason is like that he gets close with her. He's like, hey, let me become your familiar. Let me become your servant. And I promise you, with my power and like your skills, we're gonna be able to make you into a bigger star than you can ever dream of. Like you have the potential to do a lot of good things here, and I want to be able to give you that. And so this is kind of Kai's way of him helping. So they go to what is called Arkham Bullet, which is like the secret society of hunting spirits and monsters and demons and all that good shit and jazz, right? So they do all that stuff. And as they go to register, there is a warning being like, nah, see, we can't hire her. We can't hire them. Don't do that. And the whole people are like, huh? Why can't we do that? Why can't we? Hey. Why don't you want us to do that? It turns out someone was recording the train station that they were at when they transformed and recorded Chloe fighting, which is not good because this whole society is supposed to be secret. And if people see people turning into Sipes and becoming bigger, that's kind of a problem. That's kind of like a not okay thing to do. And it's just like, that's not great. We can't have that. We can't have that happening. And so they try to go arrest her. And Kai's old friend Chaos comes out, who is the director of the Far East branch of Arkham Bullet, who comes up and is just like, I'm not gonna lie. At times, this manga between Kai and Chaos can be very horny. I'm not gonna deny that, because Chaos goes up to Chloe and she's just like, I want to devour you. And the more Chloe puts up like a decent fight, because Chaos comes and like both bodies Kai and almost kills Noelle. Almost just fucking cut of that shit. It was just like, it's like, hey, that's not supposed to happen. What the fuck? So that all that happens, all that crazy fucking shit starts happening. And as that starts to happen, like Chloe's like, okay, well, let me fuse with Noelle, which everyone's like, oh, you can fuse with multiple familiars? That's kind of crazy. So she starts bawling out, being like, all right, well, let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's like fight, because I am not trying to get any of my friends killed. And Chaos is just loving it. She's enjoying it. She's fucking going in. She's like, my God, I love this. I love you. Like, you are amazing with potential. And she's just like, nah, this girl's chill. We're gonna sign her up. Yada, yada, yada. Heads up, Chaos definitely has some extreme ulterior motives, and it's shown very quickly at a certain point that she is definitely planning something. But she gets her all set up, assigned with like a device that tracks her down, and Chloe, Noelle, Kai was already part of Arkham Bullet, but Chloe and Noelle are now officially part of Arkham Bullet, where they can go and they can like hunt ghosts and like get paid for it. So they do that, and the first interaction they have is with a dude named Dr. I forgot the name. Hold on. We're going to find this out. What is the name of the doctor from Ghost Reaper Girl? Is it Dr. West? Oh, it was Dr. West. Oh. Okay, it was Dr. West. I'm about to say, I was like, what the fuck? So, Dr. West comes through, and first he sends off his goons. And honestly, Dr. West, I think, is probably my favorite character of the series so far. Like, I like how him in tandem with, Sogoth. I don't know how they say that name. You know what? We're just gonna call her Soggy, because that's what Chloe calls her, and that's what everyone else starts calling her who's close to her. But her proper name's like Sogoth or something like that. But he's like, oh yeah, I want to like test you out and like fight you and shit like that, because you're very interesting, and I want to turn you into a corpse. Your body is a good vessel, which Chloe's body is also special in itself, because it's a super like really intense body that can like take on basically any ghost. That sounds really bad in practice, the way I just said that, but there's quite literally no other way to say it other than that. But he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna turn you into a corpse, and we're gonna like train you. And he has other corpse that are fighting alongside, doing all this stuff, but they quickly end up coming across like they say it's a deity level. I don't think it is. Like, properly. It's some type of level. It's not a normal ghost. It's like an upper ranker ghost. That's like, that's a big bad motherfucker over there. That's going to be a little difficult to try to fight now, isn't it? Just shit. And so they're doing that, trying to deal with all that stuff. And Chloe's like, oh, well, like they're doing all this stuff. Like, but the girl actually seems like she has like, there's something inside of her that's like more complicated than that. Because Soggy or Sogoth was someone who was trained to basically be trained to be an assassin with no emotions. But she ended up finding emotions when one of her assassination missions, she actually stumbled upon a magical girl show that was just happened to be on, and she was infatuated. So she loves magical girls. And it was also cool because like she is just a straight killer. Like when she is in serious mode, she has like the beady eyes with the dark souls. Her hands are both just swords, and so it's like she is like a actual insane killing machine. But anytime she comes across any magical girl, she gets infatuated, and like the people around her, she's like cool with and stuff like that, and yada yada yada. So once they find that out, hold on, give me a second. I'm going to have to do some stuff. Alright, we are back. My apologies. I had to take a phone call real quick. So, where was I? Oh, I was talking about that. Yeah, so Soggy basically has, like, really intense feelings when it comes to, like, all that stuff, and holy fucking shit. Oh my god. No, actually, let me make a mental note before I continue real quick. Okay, go. Alright, so, like I said, Sagi's infatuated with magical girls. You could tell that she has, like, some sort of emotion, but she basically, like, more keeps it down. Like, Dr. West and Sogoth's relationship is kind of set up as in a sense of, oh, this is just them. Like, Dr. West is obviously using Sogoth. Doesn't seem like he super cares. Like, think of it as Mayuri and Nemu's interaction, where it's like, obviously there's some care, but he's definitely more about the science. But that's not Dr. West, because Chloe comes back to actually help Sogoth, or Sagi, start to fight the demon, only for Sagi to realize, wait, you just did a magical girl transformation. That's really cool. That's awesome. You're a magical girl. I like you now. And so she's just like, yeah, I like you, and she's cool, and she's awesome. And then as they're fighting, Dr. West is just like, okay, well, she liked you, so I'll like you, so I'll help out and give some advice. And they're struggling a little bit, trying to balance how Noelle and Kai would work out in situations. And Chloe actually is pretty smart when she comes to the way she fights. She basically uses Noelle's speed as a cat spirit to maneuver around all the attacks that this like upper level spirit has. Finds the weak point and then quickly switches over to Kai to go ahead and then and use her like slash through blood ability to destroy it. And so, like, after all that, Soggy gets even more embarrassed because she realizes that, oh, not only are you a magical girl, but you're also that Girth Reaper girl that's going viral on the internet. That's, like, actually kind of awesome and shit. And so she gets a little embarrassed. And she gets a little embarrassed, and Dr. West is like that sad, sappy father of like, oh my god, my daughter's emotions are finally moving. She's growing up so fast. I love Dr. West. Dr. West is like, Chloe is a big star, and like obviously the one that puts it all together. But like Dr. West is probably my favorite in this entire thing. He's fucking fun and enjoyable, and I like Dr. West a lot. Dr. West is a very fun person to have and to fucking be around and shit. But after all of this, Chaos calls and it's just like, oh cool, you guys like dealt with that villain, like you guys deserve a big reward, so any type of bonus, ask for it. And Chloe's just like, I just want to get good food with my friends. And so like everyone who was like fighting each other, who weren't fighting each other anymore, they just come back again and they start fucking chilling and eating and all that stuff. And at this point, I was like, I'm not fully bought in yet, but I do see a lot of fun with this manga. Like, this manga is definitely extremely enjoyable, and I love it. I love it a lot. I love like this manga is actually extremely fun, but it had yet to really like grab me with really anything yet. Like there's some characters I liked and had some good fun, but it's like, okay, but what's going to be the thing that's really gonna hook me when it comes to watching this? And this is when we get to the next arc, where we see Chloe training with Kai and Noelle, basically trying to build up her rank as she gets also more money. So now she's not like rich, but she's just like, bro, I'm not broke anymore. I don't have to work part-time. This shit fucking lit, bro. Like obviously like I'm still trying to save. Which honestly, can I just say, I love Chloe's goal of like, oh yeah, I'm not trying to like buy lavish things or like fucking do that. Like I'm trying to buy a house. I am saving every single penny I get, and we are saving up to get a house. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I love that so much, because I'm not gonna lie, if I had her potential and I was killing demons that easily, my ass would be saving for a house too. I'm like, bro, like, and I getting that much money in this economy? Shit, put me on. Like, put me the fuck on. I am 100% balling the fuck out. Like, hell the fuck yes. I am balling out. I am making sure that this is fucking lit. I am doing all of that as best as I can, hands down. And I'm racking up to put, like, she goes off too at times where she's like, what are you talking about? We got to think about like retirement or 401ks and all this other stuff. And it's just like, this girl, I like her. She likes money, but she's putting it in the right places. That, I'm not gonna lie, at that moment I was like, I'm not gonna lie, you're getting up there as a top waifu. Like, I like the way you think and the way you act and your loyalty. That's top waifu material right there. And so this arc is Chaos dispatching them to like an upper level, because they're like immediate hunters now. And so they're like, okay, so you'll be doing like more group activities, like more group situations. And so I'm gonna send you into this particular one. And I love the introduction for this, because we spent like I think 2 chapters on like just them meeting everybody, like other people who are also part of the association, which we get introduced to Panzer, who is a spirit who uses like a lot of like weaponry and stuff like that. And so he's like, yeah, I'm the leader of this group, and you're unranked, you're unbothered. That's crazy. You pipsqueaks need to go home, because goddamn, what are you worth? So he's talking like a lot of shit. Like, I wouldn't say it's like he's talking mad shit, but he's talking a lot of shit. And so he's like, you need to go home because you don't. But that sounds like Uncle Ruckus. I'm so sorry. That sounds like Uncle Ruckus. No. Okay, hold on. Let's change that. He's definitely sitting there be like, you need to go here. You don't belong here. This is for the upper class, like, spirit hunters, and you guys aren't even ranked. There's like a regional ranking when it comes to this stuff. Like, obviously there's points of ranks. There's also like a ranking system for each of the branches that exist within the Arkham Bullet. And each one, I think, has like a top 11. I'm assuming because the Far East branch has a top 11. That of which Sogoth is a part of, and I think she's number 7. I don't remember completely, but I know she's high. She's either 8th or 7th. She's one of those two. And so, like, they're like, oh yeah, you need to go, like, you're not part of this, like, you're too, like, fucking weak and shit. And it's like, and then they go, it's just like, I even have one of the best coming by, so only me and the one of the rank 11 needs to go. And we see that the rank 11 is Sogoth, or Sagi. And so she, again, I love the contrast with her, because she goes in super serious, super like, I'm here to fucking be serious and shit. No emotion. And then she sees Chloe in the gang, and she's just like, Chloe! Ah! And everyone's stunned as this starts like the complete shift of like, wait a minute, what's happening? And Dr. West comes, which you also find out he's like a very high executive. Also, between this, like Kai has an interaction with Chaos and Dr. West has an interaction with Chaos. And like this alludes to some like old god stuff where it's just like they're like, oh, they like hinted the fact like, oh yeah, that deity, that wasn't a normal deity. That deity was created, and that was created by the old gods. And Chaos is like, oh, I see. And Dr. West is like, hey, you're making Chloe pretty public recently. Does that have anything to do with this being that's related to the old gods coming by? And she's just like, and she's like, just so you know, if you fuck with Chloe, you fuck with us now. Oh, is that so? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just doing the thing that I do. And he's just like, you Chaos, you scraggly bitch. And so it'll come back to them at this waterfront where they're preparing to get Ghost. Obviously, everyone's upset because they thought they were gonna pair up with Sagi, but they're like, oh no, Sagi's support for Chloe, and everyone's like, what? If that's the case, who is this girl that is like this like out of nowhere person that got super close with Sagi? And so Panther's like, well, I'm just gonna take the initiative and then start everything then, if that's the case. And so he throws everything down. He throws not everything. He throws like a grenade down in the water. He awakes all the demons. He awakens all like the spirits, and they start climbing out. Everyone's fighting in them and shit. And there's like one big one that's an amalgamation of all the small ones. And so Chloe gets a little worried, but then she like uses Noelle and fights alongside Sagi, and they take down like the Panzer was having a difficult like time taking care of like the big beast, but Sagi and Chloe just come in and just body that motherfucker. And she like quite literally says, she's like, oh, that was a lot like less strong than I thought it was. I don't know why I was scared. And everyone's just like, what the fuck? And so Sagi and Chloe are just beating the fuck out of this beast alongside Dr. West and Kai. And like there's a point where Panzer, I'm not wrong, I got a good chuckle out of it, because Panzer's looking at both of them and he's like, oh my god, they're so pure, they're so beautiful. And Kai's looking over being like, nigga, what? He's just like, I mean, man, like, we can't be upzone, we need to fight the ghost, go! It's just like, oh my god, he got Kai sipping, which is so funny. I was like, that got a really good chuckle out of me. I was like, okay, that's funny, I like that. So they end up like fighting a bunch of ghosts and everything seems fine, but there's still some badness happening around, because there are hands that come out from the ground. As, by the way, Panther's trying to hit on Chloe. He's like, hey, I misjudged you. Maybe like I can take you out, let you go for a drink. Maybe we can chat a little bit. And he sees from behind Chloe that like hands are coming up, and he's just like, I'll hold the fuck on now. And he gets captured, and then Dr. West, in like the most nonchalant way, he's like, oh my, I'm getting caught. As falling into like the underground, and so it they're like, oh shit, they got like captured and shit. This is like not great. And so we find out, and also I called it because, listen, so actually let me explain. So like Dr. West and Painter get sucked down to where they meet this deity who is one of the old gods, and obviously behind him is obviously this big ass looking Cthulhu looking figure. I kind of called it because as soon as they mentioned the old gods, I was like, oh, they're probably thinking of the Eldritch Horrors, where they're thinking about like, I don't know many, but I know like obviously Cthulhu is like the biggest, most notable one, which, yeah, it was Cthulhu, and it was just like, well, yeah, you don't mention the old gods and not have Cthulhu thrown in somewhere, obviously, but he's basically sending them through the ringer, being like, you're not the two that I wanted, but you are the two that I'm gonna fuck with. I hope that they come rescue. So Cthulhu, or Oscar as they call him, is fucking with him. Dr. West actually kind of balls out with his ability, and honestly, this made him just like me a little more, because obviously he was a scientist. He kind of reminds me a little bit I don't know if it's Dr. Frankenstein, but the scientist, I think his name is like Dr. Frank or something like that, from Soul Eater. He kind of reminds me of that, but just a little less insane. A lot less insane, if I'm being completely honest. Okay. So like that all happens and stuff like that, which it's nice, of course, you know. I like, it's nice to see like a scientist character like that actually ball out in like a fight. He doesn't ball out for long. If I'm being completely honest with you, he does in fact not ball out for long, but he does in fact ball out. Because he's able to turn people into corpses, and like they have like super strength and super healing, and they can just kind of shrug off death. Like this dude is like, Dr. West is such a good character. He's so goddamn cool. I love him and his interactions and everything he does. He's fucking cool, and I love him. Up on top, Kai, Noel, Sagi, and Chloe are all trying to figure out how the fuck do we basically get down there, and they find out through like a communication through Dr. West of like, oh, we have to go into the warren pool. And so Chloe jumps in first with Noel, and they confront Oscar, where they see that Oscar is basically beating the fuck out of Painter and Dr. West. And they're just like, good, it's like, you finally came. Well, like, I see that you're a really great vessel, Chloe. I'm gonna give you this like lesser god of the deep. Fight him and maybe I'll acknowledge you and shit. And Chloe gets clapped instantly. Sagi and Kai come, and we see that Kai and Oscar have some sort of connection, where Kai was apparently supposed to kill Oscar, and that apparently did not work out as well as that intended. And so, as that's all going down, they're having their conversation, and then Sagi and Kai get completely rocked. And so Chloe, even though Noel has like gone off with her because he doesn't have much power left, is praying to whatever god that there is to be like, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you need, just use my body to protect my friend, please, as best as you can. This is where Chaos comes in and was like, I see, you are as interesting as I thought you were. And then and so we see the takeover of Chaos with Chloe, which, by the way, I do like the transformation she is given. It is very nice, as we get many different variations of Chloe in different outfits, which is nice. And so she's in Chaos's like nurse outfit of a sorts, but with like, you know, has physical capabilities. She has like the blade arms, stuff like that, and she beats the fuck out of the lesser god. And then she's just like, okay, cool, like, you know, I beat you the fuck up. I'm using like a higher deity's power. Cool. So that means we're gonna fight, right? And Oscar's like, nah, I just wanted to see what you could do. You were able to use a deity. That's pretty fucking impressive. But I'm gonna close this place and I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna see you later because I got what I needed. Bye. And he's just like, wait, what the fuck? And so Chloe gets them out of there, but the Dagon, I think it's called, is still rampaging. And that's where we see that we do see him a little bit during the fight, but one of Chaos's spies, oh my god, Scarface. That is actually his name, by the way. His name is actually Scarface. Goes, and he's like, yep, I'm one of Chaos's spies, and I'm here to help because I'm strong as shit. Which, man, that man is like, he is like the twist person. He is like the twist armor. I was not expecting it at all, but that motherfucker is twist armor. Like, it was like, oh, I see it. You're the twist person. You're the one that gives all the twist. I see, said the blind man. Okay. And so he's doing that, doing all the twists and stuff like that. Well, not the twist there, but we get the twist that, like, oh yeah, he's actually one of the spies. And so they start fighting, him and Soggy, as like Kai, Noel, and all them trying to rescue people. And Chloe's like, well, I want to be more useful. I don't want to just be like a standby. I actually want to fight. And so she tries her best, but she's bleeding. She's been used by a deity. Her body's falling apart. And so she's like, nah, fuck that. So she makes Kai turn into a scythe, and she still balls out. And this is also really impressive because she could she could basically use her abilities while also not being possessed, which is important because that's really fucking strong. Which is fucking insane. And so they defeat Dragon. And she ends up passing out for a little bit, waking up, and after she wakes up, she finds out that she's basically an uber mega celebrity because the video of her doing all of that is basically out there, and everyone's like, no, you are a celebrity. I also like how we get a little bit of a wrap up with, what do you call it? We get a little bit of a wrap up when it comes to oh my god, what is, I'm trying to remember what exactly. Oh, the acting agency she was a part of, where it's just like, oh yeah, we see that you're super popular. Like, hey, if you want to come back, we'll give you anything you want. And she's just like, no, you treated me really badly. Also, go fuck yourself. Also, eat my ass. And so she's just like, no, this is my new life now. I'm happy. I have people that love for me. And honestly, everyone who I've interacted with, it'd be shitty to just leave them. And so she is officially 100% in the Arkham Bullet, just being like, this is my life now. This is who I've become. This is my like new calling. And so we cut to them being moved to a different house because it's like, well, now you're super popular. We kind of need to protect you because you, wait, what? Oh my god, hold on. Fucking TikTok is being silly. TikTok is being very, very silly. But basically, it goes off as a, what was it? What were we saying? What was, God, oh yeah. So Chaos has them all moved to one of her mansions that is hidden through some special barrier stuff, because it's like, look, you've become popular, a little too popular. You're kind of hot right now, and that's not great. And we need you to just kind of chill off for a little bit while we deal with some of this shit, and while we deal with everything that dies down and whatnot. And this is just basically them like being like, we basically need to hide her away because there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Obviously, she's becoming really popular, but also Kai's soul is changing. And as they spend the night drinking, doing all that stuff, we see him leave in the middle of the night. Noel confronts him, being like, why are you leaving? And he's like, well, I basically, like, I have to leave because Oscar was my original master, and he's still alive, which means that contract is still intact, which means I still have evil powers, which he activated, which I don't know how the hell to really turn off right now. And this is right, because there are assassins that come for all of them and just start, like, trying to take them all out. Like, she sends the 11 and some other assassins to try to take care of Chloe. Luckily, Sogas and Scarface are there. But, again, Scarface is fucking the twist man because, another twist. Scarface is told that he needs to basically keep Chloe there. And he's just like, listen, I don't want to do it, but, like, I need you to, like, not interfere and understand that like Kai is kind of not great. Because like you said, you saw him, he's kind of evil, all that stuff, which the 11 show up fighting Noelle and Kai and being like, okay, well, if I come with you, then you'll just protect my friends. And then one of the 11, who I think his name was like, oh my god, it was like Garnt something, I forget, but it was one of the wind users, and he's like one of the top 3 of the 11. He's like, oh brother, I can't make that promise to you. We're here to take you and murk everybody. Like, everybody is going down tonight. This is him basically being like, okay, well, fuck that then. And then turns into his evil form. It's like, well, if Chloe's gone, then there's kind of no reason for me to not care about what this world does anymore, because the person that I love dearly is now gone. So, kind of fuck everybody right now. And so he starts bodying the 11. Sorry, some hair in my mouth. He starts bodying the 11. Like, each one starts stepping up, and he's just like, nah. Fuck you. Your attacks don't do shit. I'm cutting you in half. All this stuff. So, like, and Scarface takes Chloe and Sogoth out using a technique he has that can keep, like, he can smoke a cigarette and they say invisible within the smoke. I don't know. That's a lot of smoke. I don't know how that works. It's just, shit's gonna get into my lungs and fucking kill me. But it's something that he's, like, able to do. And he's like, see? Look at what your boy's doing. He is evil. I don't know if he's told you, but he has the silver keys, which are the keys to Hades, which is not supposed to be opened by many people, but he's doing it. Look at him. And so at some point he's fighting people, and he's just like, you know what? I know why you guys want me. Honestly, I don't give a fuck anymore. And he just starts opening the silver keys, and he's just like, yep, anything I open is going to be transported into Hades, and they come right back. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just opening the gates. Fuck everyone. And everyone's like, well, that's bad. Chloe, my girl, runs up to it and was just like, Kai, I swear to God, you need to stop what you're doing, because this is insane and unacceptable. Kai then pulls her into Hades, which is crazy, and then goes to he talks to her, and this is where I was like, oh my god, this is so 2000s coded with the way it handles its shit. Because Kai starts going, he's just like, oh Chloe, you don't want to be around me. I'm an evil guy. I can't change. It's in my body. It's in my soul how evil I am. I'm not a good person. And Chloe's like, no, Kai, I can change you. I know what you are. And Kai's just like, you can't understand my feelings. You can't understand how I feel. I'm being very over dramatic. But it is essentially that big Kai just going up being like, Chloe, you don't understand. I have an evil within me that I don't know if I'm able to control. And she's just like, I don't care. If you're evil, then like everyone needs a partner. Just look at Bonnie and Clyde. We'll fight things together, baby. Like, I'm just like, I'm transported back to the 2000s. This is the 2000s. I'm back in the 2000s all over again. Holy fucking shit. Because this is like, I was like, oh. And there's other moments like Noelle and Kai have a moment. Other players have a moment. Like, it's weird. Like, you could tell enough that this was like more of like a modern made anime that was made within like the last 5 years. But it takes so many cheesy and aesthetically specifically clothing aesthetic too, of the like mid to early 2000s of like anime that like just fuck, man. Just fuck. And I like it enough. I like it more than the anime I was talking about, The Witch and the Beast, where I think The Witch and the Beast leans too much into it, where I'm like, y'all doing a little too much. But like, Ghost Reaper Girl, I think, does enough for it to be charming. And that's what I think I like about it a lot. But they ended up fusing while he's in that state, which is insane, because it's like, that's just another powerful deity she's fusing with. and ends up like using his like actual like full on doc powers. And so her outfit's changed. She has horns now and all that stuff. And like the number 3 of the 11 is just like, that's kind of sick, but we kind of still have to take you in. And that's either I kill you, take him in, or I take you both in. I don't care how it is, but I'm gonna complete my job. And she's just like, no, screw you. And he's just like, okay, well, you're gonna have to fight me then if that's the case. And so they have like a very, very interesting battle where we see him being very creative with his power. His power is when he's able to compress, do all that stuff. But Chloe has the silver keys. And so she's using it in a very creative ways as well. She's like able to open up little portals. She's able to like use all this bunch of stuff. Like, it's actually really fucking cool the way that she's using the silver keys, to the point where the number 3 is sending like a bombardment of like wind explosions, and like there's no way for Chloe to really like be able to absorb them through like the gates of Hades. And so what she does is that she sends herself through Hades, opens up a new portal, and then like stabs him in the back and slices him. And it's just like, oh shit, wait, that's insane what you just did, actually. And so she basically defeats one of the 3 in like a very creative way. And then, again, another twist, the twist man, we find out that not only was he working in the orders of the upper top, and not only is he a spy for Chaos, but he's also the number 2 of the 11. And so she, which I think is fair, since he's just been like, bam, 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 bam. She's just like, okay, Scar, I need to know, are you fucking good or are you fucking evil? Are you on our side or not? Because I'm not gonna lie, you're doing a lot of things right now and you're revealing a lot of what you are to me, and I don't know how to treat you. And like, he was saying plain and simple, it's like, listen, all you need to know is whatever Chaos does, I do. And he's just like, yeah, because he simps for the director a lot. Which, the Kia Scar and the number 3, they do the little scuffle. And basically, after all of this, they all just become friends. Even though Kai sliced one of them in half, which I feel like is something that should be addressed, but oh well, fuck it, I guess. But this is when we get to kind of where the manga is, where Scar basically hypes up Chloe and the gang to go to the Arkham Bullet HQ. And they go back to Hades because there are 5 gates and Arkham Bullet controls all 5. And the problem with the silver keys is that those keys can open gates anywhere within the world in any dimension. That's a problem. That can't happen, and that's a problem because the Arkham Bullet don't control that, and that's bad. That's bad that they're not able to control that. So they are like, okay. And also, while all this is happening, Chaos is being taken by the upper branches, like the north, east, south, and the president. And it's just like, oh yeah, like, we know what you're doing and we don't like it. Lashley, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, man. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope that you stay a little bit while. We're also almost done with our recap, so hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of end of this. But we still got a bit of talk. We still got a lot to talk about, though. We still got a lot because I have so many thoughts for the overall like end of things. But yeah. But while they were dealing with that, Chaos is meeting with the other branch members who are like basically being like, "Hey, Chaos, what you doing there, buddy? You know about Kai and what he's doing, right? That's not okay. You're siding with evil. That's not okay. We have to detain you because, hey, guess what? That's not okay. That's not okay at all. We can't have you pairing up with bad guys now, can we? We can't have you pairing up with no bad guys." And so they detain her after everything's said and done. And I assume after, like, they prove that, like, oh, Chloe can at least control Kai. It's like, okay. We'll go ahead and we'll allow them to come. We'll allow them to come over here and do what they need to do. Or not do what they need to do, but we'll allow them to come and confront us and stuff like that. So, Chloe, Noelle, Kai, Sogoth, and I don't think Dr. West is there at all. But I think Sogoth and Scar at least. No, Scar doesn't go. It's Chloe, Sogoth, Noelle, and Kai. They all go to meet with basically the heads of who Arkham Bullet is, which is the 4 branch members and the president. And they're just like, it's like, and the president has been cold this entire time. He basically sees himself as someone who is absolute justice, and he is the only one that could ever pass judgment on anybody, and like his word is absolute law, as he is the president of Arkham Bullet that is trying to protect the world. And so he goes, he's like, oh good, now that you're here, it's time for your punishment. And they're like, what? Excuse me? No, we're here for negotiations. And he's just like, no. That's not how this is working. This is how it's gonna work. You're either A, gonna give us the silver keys, and you guys can walk out here, leaving your little lions like you can drink that castle, or you can fight back and we're gonna have a problem. And I don't know if you want to have a problem with Arkham Bullet. And so Chloe's just like, well, that's not fair, and you're kind of a dickhead. And it's like, oh, I am a dickhead, huh? Well, you're fired. And she's like, wait, what the fuck? And she's like, bitch, I'm the president. You don't think I can do that? You don't think I can be able to do this shit? No, like, get out of my face. It's like, oh. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Who followed? Oh, that covered. I don't know who followed. No, it doesn't tell me who followed. Oh, no. Desan Daniel, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining the stream. Apologies. No, I don't want anything that you're selling. But thank you for the follow, I guess. On Kick, by the way. Shout out there. So, Chloe is basically like, now, I don't think she's fired. I assume, when this comes back, hopefully, I assume Chloe will be reinstated. She'll still be working with Arkham Bullet in some way, shape, or form. But this will, and this is where I'm like, oh, this was like a really bad stopping point, because it does bring a lot of questions. Because Kai's just like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm just gonna drink the like you promised my friend's safety. And he's like, of course. But Chloe could already smell that something was fishy, so she knocks the chalice out of Kai's hand, drinks the chalice, and she's like disgusted at first. She's like, oh, this chalice is nasty as shit. But she goes and she's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Why'd you do that for? And I'm like, I did it because that nigga don't keep her word. She didn't say that. She didn't say like nigga don't keep her word. But she was just like, yep, I knew it. He's a bitch. Because Chloe turns to Kai and she starts bleeding out of her mouth. The chalice was poisoned. And they were gonna go ahead and poison Kai and just take the keys and then probably kill everybody else. But now it's an interesting situation where it's like, oh, well, shit. Chloe just drank it and now she's poisoned. What do we do from here? What exactly happens? And so I think it's the South Branch who's like the Pope of the South Branch. He might be at the Pope at the time. Which, what a last panel to leave on. Which, holy shit, that threw me the fuck off. Where he goes and he picks up Chloe's body. And it's like, listen, there's not much that we could do for her. Like, she drank that shit and that's basically instant death. Not only that, but she is basically now a puppet for the president. But I like y'all spunk. I like her spunk. And she defied the president. And she's willing to change face like that. I'll fuck with this girl. Y'all have my favor. And the last panel we see is the Pope revealing how he looks like. And it's just like a beastkin looking thing. I can't tell if it's a cat or a dog. I need to look back. But he's just like, you have my favor. And it's just like, oh my God, it's an animal. Which I thought was a cool panel. But as far as we go, that is the last panel that we have when it comes to Ghost Reaper Girl. It's also the very TLD rundown of everything that is in there. I probably missed a couple of points, but that's like the gist of like what's been happening so far. So, first of all, I wouldn't say I was hooked pretty early on, but I knew that there was something here I did like. I see why my buddy says that I would like it, because I'm really into like the Eldritch horror stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of like stuff like the Backrooms and SCP. I'm still trying to figure out ways to properly integrate that into like the anime channel. Of course, as well, now that I have this second channel, I can always just do separate SCP and Backroom stuff that I want to, which is also kind of interesting. And maybe do just like a review or breakdown of whatever the fuck. But regardless of that, I do like the Eldritch horror. I like that stuff. The power system I like. I'm very interested by. It reminds me sort of a bit of Zatch Bell in a sense, like Zatch Bell mixed with like Zatch Bell mixed with Jujutsu Kaisen in a sense. I like the possession, and I like the fact that like the spirits have like such vibrant and like interesting personalities. Like, they're not just whatever. They very much stand out on their own. I do kind of see of a point though, where like, you know, Chloe's. I could see where people could maybe have an issue with this, where Chloe is just this uber fucking like, and she doesn't like, it's not like she doesn't have any flaws, right? Where in the sense of like, she didn't have the confidence before, she could get herself into too many dangerous situations that can fuck over a lot of people. But my big thing with this and with Chloe is basically, I fear that at some point I'll get tired of the overdoing of everything and the sense of like not really much happening. Well, not the really much happening, but in the sense of just like, she's able to basically use any demon and not have many problems there with it. Now, there is a point where we do get it where it's not like that, where it is, oh my god, where it's chaos, and when she takes over chaos, she's able to use chaos, but it still takes a toll on her body. I would have liked that in the beginning, as to be like, oh, there is some toll, but I get it's supposed to be like, oh, you're this. But like the way that they do it, if they were to do it, they are kind of doing it in the right way, in a sense of just like, I don't think you understand like how special you are in a sense, and how actually extremely strong you are in a sense of like, you are a very special human, and that in itself is problematic, which is why I like that they're making enemies within and outside the organization. That makes a lot of sense. I know I say I didn't like Kai at first, but I'm not gonna lie, he definitely is growing on me. Character-wise and writing-wise, like plot-wise, the story is very cheesy, but there's enough cheese. It's got like too much cheese. It's enough cheese to be charming. It's enough cheese to be like, that's kind of cute. That's fair. It doesn't overdo it. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like just the right amount. I do like the aesthetic of this manga as well. It's very, like I said, it's very early 2000s. It's very reminiscent. I think there are people that might not resonate super well with this, because it's like, it's both detailed but not the most detailed. Like, the monsters look really cool. Like, I like the way they do the monsters, but it's also just kind of like, yeah, they're nothing kind of right. They're nothing really to write home about, but it's still like pleasing to the eye. Honestly, a big point is the power system. I like the way that they're working everything to it with the Eldritch horrors. I wonder what type of more old gods we're gonna see. Like that's an interesting aspect to me. Like, I like that a lot. I like the way of what they're doing that. It's fun. It's interesting. I like it. It's good, man. It is a good manga. I see. It sucks that obviously that this manga is on hiatus, but it sucks that like more people still don't talk about this. I think this is kind of like this is a little underrated, if I'm being completely honest. I kind of like what this like manga does and how it does its shit. Like, it's actually like pretty fun for the most part in the way it like handles its shit, man. Like unironically, like it's pretty fucking good in that regard. I like enjoy it a lot in everything that it does. Like I said, I think my big thing is that it's doing things well, but I can also see a path in where they fuck it up. Like, it's not in a place where I'm like super locked in, But I'm there where I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm watching this and this is cool. But, you know, I could see where this might fuck up somehow, and where it might go, it might do all this stuff. Overall, though, I did have a fun time with this manga, man. I get what my friend recommended it to me. It was good. It's awesome. I enjoyed it. It's genuinely nice. I would say, if you're clicking on this and you're like, hey, I know that the author is on a hiatus. They're sick. It's been over like kind of a year now. Where would this be worth picking up? Honestly, I say yes. It's pretty fun. It does stop at a kind of abysmal place. So you will be wondering a lot of like, shit, what's going to happen with Chloe? What's going to happen to Kai? How are the uppers gonna? How are the rest of the uppers gonna look at what the Pope did? How is Chaos gonna be treated now that she's like kind of shown that she has favor towards Chloe? What does the president think of Chloe's actions? Because he didn't really say anything after that. Like, there is definitely a lot there, and I'm very interested to see where that goes. Where that goes, I do not know, but I am very interested to see where it goes. I wouldn't say I'm locked in, but I am definitely enjoying the ride that I am on right now. I'm enjoying my ride a lot, and I'm happy with what I have been shown. It's honestly positive. I'm not gonna lie, I did come in here thinking that this was gonna be a harsher review, but no, man, I've enjoyed what I've been given so far. Which is really good. I really like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, if you are thinking whether or not you want to pick this up, dude, go for it. I say it's worth it. I say it's worth it. I say it's good. Go ahead, do that to yourselves. Treat yourselves to that. I think it's worth it. And with that being said, I am pretty much done. I am all good. Thank you all for joining this little conversation that I'm having. I honestly, I thought it was gonna be I thought we were gonna keep it short, but no, we're almost at an hour and a half, which is not a long stream, but like for the podcast, it's basically like average length. But thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah, go check out Ghost Reaper Girl, man, and also to the author of Ghost Reaper Girl, if by any random chance you see that, but also for fans as well. Go wish them well in their health and their recovery. Again, there's no health updates. At least to my knowledge, I tried to find them but couldn't. But please, I hope that they come back. I hope they come back soon, because I hope that they are well soon. But I understand. Take your time. Take the care that you need in order to take care of yourself. Do not rush into things. Do not jump into things. We don't want you getting sick again, because this is the second time they've been on hiatus, and I'd rather them come back fully healthy, being able to come out with bangers like they do, rather than them trying to work themselves silly, and just like how any mangaka would actually do it. Not everyone's built for it. Every people need their rest. So I hope that the author for this will take their time to rest and actually rest up properly. But yeah, go check it out and, you know, wish that author well. My name is Vtuber. I record this podcast every Sunday at 12 p.m. PST. If you want to check out my other stuff, you can check out my main channel, Mise Kurosaki YT, where I go ahead and I review weekly manga. There's not going to be one out this week because it is my birthday this weekend. I was going to work on a video, but honestly, I need a break. I am also burnt out because it's the holiday season and work is running me dry. So we will be having a video not this week, but next week we will be preparing stuff, and from then on we should be having videos coming out. I do top 10s, I do manga reviews like you see here, I do anime reviews, and I do a bunch of other things. And also, of course, thank you to ENVtuber Cast. These are the people that help me put on the show and allow me to put this show on their website. They're very good people. Go check them out. Everything I've just mentioned is in the link in the description. Have fun with your dollar selves. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next episode. Arrivederci, my friends. Have a good one.